I'm here today with Larry Shantz, one of our CREST graduates. And he's an example of what we say in CREST, that if you do your midlife shift well, your second half can be your best half. We can actually end on what we call the green line, the productive line. And as I listened to Larry today, we were having lunch and I was listening to what you've done now in the latter years of your second half. I thought, man, this would be really good for our CREST graduates, our CREST alumni, and others to hear about. Because what you've done, Larry, here, this is in Bethany Church, as you can see with the missions here beside us, that this was a church that has grown to significant size, and you have transitioned well to the next lead pastor, a succession plan. And I heard the story at lunch. I thought, I want others to hear this story as well. So tell us how that began in your mind and when did it all start?
Well, I've been here at the church as lead pastor for 43 years.
43.
So
Did you hear that?
It's been my life.
Oh, wow.
And it's been a joy. I just love this church and what they've allowed me to become. So it got in my mind that I really want to end well. I really want to finish and bless this church as they have blessed me.
Oh, that's great.
So I talked to the board about when I was about 57. I'm 68 now. And I said to them, we need to start thinking about succession plan. We need to get a plan because I've seen too many places where there's no plan and they've failed miserably.
Yeah.
So we have a guy in our church who is an HR guy with Niagara Parks, and he was incredibly helpful. So he found a succession template, and we kind of tweaked it to suit who we were.
Good.
But the template basically said, bring the guy here, give him 6 months to know the community. So then the next 6 months, he spoke 40% of the time. And then he got more involved in the direct leadership. But again, I was still lead pastor. And he was there to learn the ropes and to find his way. It also gave his wife and family time to get to know the church a little bit because they moved here, had lived in Kitchener their whole lives. So this was a big transition for them, and we knew that. At the end of that time, the board met with Andrew, interviewed him, and decided they would ask him to be our next lead pastor.
Okay.
So that was good. We had agreement from the board that was unanimous. And so after he had been here for about 19 months, no, it would have been in 16 months, he became the next lead pastor for Bethany.
Yeah. So folks, here's another example that if you pay attention in your second half, like Larry did, you came and you took CREST.
I did.
About 10 years ago.
And CREST was very helpful.
Yeah, man. So you submitted yourself to a thorough process that we do in CREST. And a number of your staff took it as well.
That's
so
right.
that you were embedding a lot of this seasoned thinking. And you modeled learning. And I remember you sitting in our CREST place, and here's a senior pastor who is pastored very well and has a very successful ministry in many ways, and he's still learning. He's still saying, I need to learn still. And I think that sets the tone for younger people to be willing to come and be a part of your team. You've got a really young team now.
Yeah.
So folks, here's an example that with the right attention, your second half can be your best half. Thank you, Larry, for being a good model, and I'm so thankful that we could be a part of your journey in these wonderful years here.
So am I. Thank you, Dan.